Hello and happy Wednesday. Have you ever thought that networking is all about conversions? Have you measured the success of your networking efforts by the amount of transactions, sales, or leads that you have gotten? Or are you tired of doing that? Would you rather have something that is more meaningful? If this is you, then you're at the right episode. You're in the right place. And it's good to see you here today. I'm Laura Orlando, the Stress Commando, and I am the founder and CEO of Down and Dirty Networking. We are a 100% relational networking online community. And you might be asking, well, what's this relational networking? Well, we're going to talk about that. And our plan here with our networking know how, hey, I see some people watching live. Glad to have you here. Our job with going live here every Wednesday afternoon is so that we can share some stress free networking tips about relational networking. So you can engage in relational networking and take the benefit that we get inside of our Down and Dirty Networking online community. So let's kind of dig into what we're talking about today. So today's topic is about conversations instead of conversions. Conversations instead of conversions. And so if you think networking is about selling and telling, you're definitely thinking about networking in the traditional sense, where it is more transactional, where you do 30-second commercials. If you're an entrepreneur, you go to a networking event, or you're going to a mixer, or maybe you're a corporate professional and you're engaging in different industry events or company events so that you can get to be seen and be known by the right people. Maybe you're schmoozing, as it were, to try to get the promotion or the job assignment or the project assignment that you're looking for. In any case, regardless of what the intention is, it's transactional in nature. Even if you are a job seeker looking to find a job, you have a tendency to be very transactional. And that is the default setting of what we all think networking actually is about. So get up and chat and let me know what your thoughts are as you're watching live, or maybe you're watching on replay. I do go back and comment on everything, so I appreciate having you here. So let's talk about the difference between traditional networking and relational networking. So relational networking is something that we call here in Down and Dirty Networking. Is something I started calling relational networking because I realized, well, I really didn't like the sell and tell approach. It just kind of felt oogie. And anytime that I would ask people what they thought about networking before I launched the Down and Dirty Networking community, when I asked people what their definition of networking was, it wasn't even a word that I got or a phrase. What I got was, oh, it was the body language and the ugh sound. It felt more like a chore, is what they said. They dreaded it. They know they needed to do it, but they really dreaded it and it was a chore. It felt more like a beatdown because they were getting pitch slapped by everybody left, right, and center. And so I realized there's a different way of networking that most people don't realize, and that's relational networking. And it's about having a meaningful conversation to learn from and about someone to build a lasting and authentic relationship. And see, there's that word conversation. It's not about having a 30-second commercial or having something memorized that you pitch. It's asking questions to get to know somebody, to learn from and about them. Last week, we talked about the best friend approach and about how you treat everyone like your instant best friend. The purpose is to dig into conversations instead of being focused on the conversion, the transaction, the thing that you're looking for. When you get into a conversation, everything changes. Your vibrational energy goes through the roof. Your reputational capital with that person goes through the roof because you see value and hear them enough to want to know what they have to say. You're engaging in a two-way conversation versus a one-way conversation in the traditional sense where you're just pitch slapping every chance you can. Buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, hire me, promote me, whatever the thing is. When you're having a meaningful conversation, everything changes and anything becomes possible. And here's what I find so surprising. When you replace conversations instead of conversions, when you replace the mindset and you shift into this relational networking mindset, the conversions and opportunities present themselves. Without the intention of having it, they will come. And this can be true in everything. Networking, the way that we look at it is that there's three things. So I look at networking three ways. It's a skill, it is a mindset, and it is an activity. A skill, a mindset, and activity. It is the mindset of networking that generally trips us all up. When you can engage in the mindset of networking and engage in relational networking, then everything becomes stupid simple. And when you have that mindset of relational networking, you are engaging in relational networking every aspect of your life, not traditional networking activities, not even needing the skill of networking. It's a skill of having a conversation and having a more meaningful conversation to learn from and about someone to build a lasting relationship. Some of the conversation topics, the questions that we use in our monthly events, and we have different events every month. So it's a different question. It's a different, no one knows what is going to happen until they come into the room. But we curate the content, we curate the conversation to get a kick started. Those same questions can work with your coworkers, with your significant others, your kids. They can work with vendors if you're an entrepreneur, with colleagues. It doesn't matter the situation. This is how you get to a more deeper conversation. And for example, if you are in a mastermind, if you are in any kind of industry group, or if you're in a situation where you can have a Q&A session. So online, I had the opportunity to have a Q&A session with a coach in a program that I'm in right now. And I took advantage to ask more meaningful questions to get the clarity that I needed to get where I needed to be. Through the course of the conversation, this coach offered to support and help and participate in one of the trainings I was doing on the marketing side of things. So, in addition to being the CEO of Down and Dirty Networking, I'm also a marketing consultant. Hey, I got to see someone from LinkedIn. It's not telling me who it is, but I'll go jump in. Was the live is over and see who you are. Unless you want to chime in, let me know who you are, because all you're coming up is LinkedIn private person. It's like, okay, I'm gonna have to go and look and see who this is. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you. So anyway, the point was I'm having this conversation. I'm a marketing consultant. I have a whole nother business. I have two other businesses actually. But in the marketing space, I'm talking to my coach about this program launch that I'm doing. He offers his assistance. I wasn't asking for it. That wasn't my intention. I wanted clarity on how to move forward powerfully with this particular launch. And he just offered it up in the best way possible. I held space. I made room for the meaningful conversations, and he has just showered me with support throughout. I got what I needed without asking for it and didn't even know that I needed this. Most every job I've had in corporate was because of the meaningful conversations and relationships that I had actually created. Relational networking has been in my DNA, and it is the game changer throughout my entire career. And what I love is while networking, someone shared with me that your career is the sum of all of your professional experiences. So I have worked in corporate. I have been an entrepreneur, and in corporate I had various industries that I worked in. And she goes, but Laura, the sum of your professional experience is your career. Versus what I was saying at the time, I've had many careers because I, at that time, was still corporate when I met her, and I had been in various industries. So I interpret that to be various careers. She's like, no, it's the sum of your one. And so when I look at my entire career, from corporate, all of the different industries that I was in, all of the different twists and turns of entrepreneur land and CEO ownership. It is relational networking that has 100% been the game changer. It has been what has been the trajectory changing moment in all of my careers. All the jobs that I've had came from how people knew me, how they knew to rely on me, and it was because of how I showed up. So, when you are focusing on networking, if there's a takeaway, I want you to engage in conversations this week. And conversations can be virtual this way, they can be in person, they can be over the phone, but you can engage in conversations while in chat. Focus when you're reaching out to people. So, my LinkedIn person over here, I'll use LinkedIn. You can have conversations on LinkedIn, having thoughtful comments to people's posts, thoughtful DMs. You do not have to have the pitch slap mentality to have a meaningful conversation on LinkedIn. I have two very good friends that I would not have in my world had I not developed a conversation with one of them on LinkedIn. We got to know each other. Truth be told, I might have stalked her a little bit. I just thought she was interesting. I loved her vibe. I loved what she was doing. I wanted to know more. And we developed a relationship. And thanks to her, I met the other person through her. That would have happened had I not been open to having a conversation and leveraging the tools that are available to me, whether they be social media, texting, phone, any tool that you have, you can use to have a conversation. And of course, the good old fashioned, hey, let's go have lunch or let's get together in person for some way. You can do that. You can have more meaningful conversations, like I said, in masterminds if you're attending online events or conferences. Think about where you can have conversations versus conversions. Where can you have conversations versus pitch slapping or trying to get a lead? And what about trying to measure the success of networking by the meaningful conversations that you have? And if you need to put a number score to it, before engaging in relational networking on a scale of 1 to 10, where is your vibrational energy? Write that down. And then after you've engaged in relational networking on a scale of 1 to 10, where's your vibrational energy? I suspect it will always be higher. If you are engaging truly in relational networking, and having meaningful conversations, your vibrational energy is always higher. And why is that important? Because the higher your vibrational energy, the more clarity you have, the more space you have to analyze, to do, and to show up for those things that matter to you most. So, I hope this was helpful. If you like some of these tips, if this is a new concept for you, this relational networking, like, oh my gosh, I thought there was only one way of doing it. If you would like to know more, I encourage you to make sure that you find the Down and Dirty Networking YouTube channel and subscribe to the channel. We go live there, but we also have curated playlists of various content. So no matter what your situation is, whether you're a student, an entrepreneur, an introvert, a corporate professional, there is something up there for you how you can network more effectively, leveraging a relational networking mindset. Even if you have to go to a traditional networking event, how can you adapt a relational networking mindset in that space to make that event less of a chore and more something you look forward to actually doing? So find the Down and Dirty Networking YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe, and then make sure you are following us on LinkedIn and on Facebook. We actually post articles and different resources all the time to help you understand and navigate relational networking. And of course, with everything we do, we want to make sure that your vibrational energy is increased with every article, every post, every video that we load up there. We want to make sure that we're helping you through that. And if you are like, Laura, I really need a little bit more, I'm still not getting it. I actually learned by doing. If that's you, if you learn by doing, I'm going to encourage you to drop in the comments or shoot me a DM. Drop the word waitlist. Drop the word waitlist. We are an online community here in Down and Dirty Networking, but we're a closed community. What that means is we're only open to the public 4 times a year. And you're going to be in luck because our public event is coming up in April, but our registration is not yet open. The rest of the time, we are members only events. So if you would like to get an invite to check out our Conversations and Connections event that will be happening in April, drop the word waitlist in the comment or a DM to me, and I will make sure that we get you hooked up on our waitlist. And you can be one of the very first people in the front of the line to get an invite to our event. I promise you will be so glad that you attended, and I promise to deliver on raising your vibrational energy. I'm pretty proud of the fact I'm able to raise people's numbers quite significantly through the course of an event. So I really hope that you are having an amazing week. If you're not having an amazing week, if you're having the kind of week where you're like, oh my gosh, every day feels like a month, it's just so much right now, I hope that it gets better for you. And connect. Let's have a conversation. Shoot me a private DM, however you're watching me on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube. Message me, comment. Let's have a conversation. What would you like to learn about networking? What's the thing that would be really helpful for you to know, or a question you would like for me to ask, to answer for you here live? Because you never know, I might choose your answer to be the thing that we talk about next. And every Wednesday, I go live here for Networking Know-How. So submit your questions and we'll see, or your topics that you'd like for me to cover. And you never know, you might be the topic that we talk about. And yeah, make sure that you've followed and subscribed everywhere so that every Wednesday afternoon, sometime between 3:30 and 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, I go live. I'm a little bit late today, ran a little bit long with a couple of the events that I had scheduled and client meetings, but I didn't want to miss being here with you. So thank you for taking the time to be here with me. All right, until I see you live next Wednesday, happy networking.